What's up, guys? Oh, my nose itching. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Oh man, figure we're gonna talk a little bit this morning because apparently some people are still not grasping um, the disrespect and everything that comes from people posting AI art. And look, at this point in the game, we know what AI art looks like. So trying to play this, oh, I didn't know, or oh, I just clicked on something off of social media, etc. Like it's bullshit at this point. If you don't know what AI art looks like at this point in the game, it's just blatantly because you don't want to know for whatever reason. Either you just don't care, or um, it doesn't bother you. I'm kind of burnt out on the playing the I didn't know no better bullshit. It's just not true. Um, it's just not true. Um, Sitting around and claiming stupidity or lack of knowledge is it just doesn't work at this point. Whether it's myself or whether it's Sean or whether it's Anna or whether it's any of these other handful of artists that have the balls to say any damn thing. Um, um, we've shown enough evidence and enough examples of what it looks like that people know, because it's really and truly it's pretty telltale. um, and you know let me see if I can, because I mean, hell, this day and age, I mean, you can literally type it in and see tons of examples, on Google, because there's so much of it fed into the system now. But it always has, um, this. Let's see if this one will work. It always has. Did that save? Some of this shit saves and some of it doesn't. When you try to save the image, looks like that didn't. I was going to show you guys what, but like I said, we've posted enough proof that, I mean, because it all has this same kind of energy to it, if that makes sense. Um, and bear with me, I'm just deleting some stuff here so I can. I'm going to find you one. It has this. Let's see if this will work. That didn't work. Why is that not working? I mean, this one. Here's you an example. So like this right here, that's AI generated art. So I mean, it's definitely, I mean, it's definitely pretty art, but it's thievery. And there's always, like I said, there's always telltale signs. No matter how good they get it, they still screw shit up. I mean, like the elongated palms of his hands. It looks almost like American Werewolf in London. Uh, you know, um, to let's see, will this one save? Damn, why is some of this shit not saving? Um, or is it saving somewhere that I'm not seeing? Yeah, see, that's showing. I want to see today. Why is it not showing today? Center no downloads. I apologize. Um, Why is it showing last week? It should be showing me like right now. That's weird. All right, let me see if I can find a different one to save for you. Because it has, it has this very unique kind of realism palette, if that makes sense. All right, did this one work? Yeah, here we go. All right, so like this is what I'm referring to. Hey, what's up, Miss Delgado? Hope you're doing wonderful this morning. Hello to everyone else. So there's an example of an AI generated image also. So I mean, you can tell how certain things, the color palette kind of stands out. And then you can also tell certain things about the way, maybe some of the symmetry of the metal parts don't really make sense. Like this little thing right up here on above her forehead, how it drops down and then goes across her top of her head, but it doesn't drop down on the other side to be symmetrical. Artists tend to draw things symmetrical. So, you're not going to see, um, you know, uh, a ton of off balance stuff, because when you're drawing something, you're taught to make things kind of balance out from one side to the next. And let's see, will this one say? All right, so like here's another example. So there's another example of an AI generated piece. You see how even from this one to the other one, even though the other one had some mechanical aspects to it and everything, biomechanical and things, the color palettes still seem to have this smoothness to it. And while you can do that in digital coloring, there's just still this real unique palette that kind of sets the same from image to image. And let me try to find some here that's more comic art related. Because I mean, now you got people that are trying to do their full blown comic books in AI art. So like here's a great if this one will let me save. Okay, here's your one that is AI. You see the color palette? You see what I'm talking about? Like when you compare that color palette to this color palette to this color palette, or the texturing, I guess would be a better word. That's AI. See how jacked up his hand is? See how jacked up the details in his body is with the muscle lines and everything? Um, you know, um, that, I mean, it's a beautiful piece when you get away from those things. I mean, it's a great pose, it's a great layout, but you see how the cloak goes down behind his back, and you see how his hair doesn't kind of flow the right directions around the front. And then you look at his ear, there's your telltale sign that it's AI. The muscles, those weird, staggery lines through his forearms and stuff like that. What's up, Dale? Good morning. That tells you it's AI. So that's what I mean by, like, there's always telltale signs. Even people who are taking shit they generate on AI and then loading it into um, Photoshop to try to clean up and correct the shit, like the extra fingers and the extra earlobes and shit like that. There's tons of things that are still telltales, because even we as humans, we're going to overlook stuff. Our eyes aren't going to catch every little detail. That's why you see a lot of artists, when we draw something, we'll walk away from it and come back, and or as we're drawing it, we're constantly flipping it over, looking at it from behind to see the different angle, because it'll show us the mistakes that our eyes are missing. And they're not doing this with the AI art. Obviously, they can't flip the image per se to see what's going on with it, unless they go that extra mile to load it into Photoshop and things like that, which some people have started doing, and that's why they're getting a little harder to tell just right off bat. But then again, there's still telltale signs. I wish there was a way I could point to things, but like I said, if you look just over his the right hand side of the image, his left shoulder, you can see how the cape goes down behind his back. It wouldn't necessarily do that. You see how he has like double earlobes. That wouldn't happen. You see how he has like this weird throat thing going on under his chin to the left hand side, and then you see all these weird lines that are drawn inside his muscles that are going left to right. That wouldn't do that. And then you look at his, he's got 50 abs, and then you look at his fist, that's all jacked up. So I mean, there's telltale signs to understand what AI art is. And like I said, a lot of us, we have 100% taken a hard line in the sand on this. If you're posting it, we're unfriending you. If you're sharing it to groups, I don't give a shit if you're the admin or not the admin. If you're sharing it to groups, because, well, I didn't know it was AI. I just needed a photo. That's bullshit. At this point in the game, it's bullshit. This stuff, we've been talking about this for 10 months. I mean, this really started up around the first part of the year, and we've been calling it out and pointing it out, post after post, conversation after conversation, example after example. If you're doing it now, you're doing it just because you don't give a shit. And playing dumb isn't going to work anymore. And us unfriending you isn't us being assholes or being petty or being self-centered or anything like that. We just don't associate with people promoting AI. If you want to share some damn art, go share the thousands of artists that might be in your group. Share their art. How about that shit? How about sharing the art of the people that belong to your group? If you're on an artist friends list and you want to use a piece of art to use as a header for one of your live sales or for one of your buy it now sale posts, use one of those artists. Why are you digging through AI shit to find it? Because, I mean, I'm sorry, if I type in Superman art, the majority of that art that comes up is going to be traditional digital art. Like, you have to, even though there's a lot of it floating around, you just about have to type in AI art to find AI art to a degree. Now, it will pop up on certain things like Instagram a lot. You'll see it a lot on Instagram feeds, probably TikTok too. I'm sure. I don't know. I'm not on TikTok. But at this point in the game, especially if you're on our friends list, if you're friends with me or you're friends with Sean, or if you're friends with Anna, if you're friends with any of these artists who have called out and posted examples of AI art, and you're still using AI art, that's you being the dick. Get pissy. I don't care. You can unfriend me. I don't care. I won't cry about it. You won't see me being upset about it. But a lot of us, it's a zero tolerance. It's a zero tolerance. And more of you need to have the same mentality. I mean, the same thing goes with scam artists and conners that are stealing money from people. You got to stop being friends with those people. They're not going to change. They'll never change. And just like these people that are crutching on AI, they're not going to stop. And if you're using it at this point, you're doing it just out of malice. Yeah, Photoshop and AI is the only people arguing that are people that are hoping people will accept AI as a whole so they can crutch on it. Because if you'll notice, almost every time you see someone try to argue or justify the use of AI, it's usually someone that can't draw for shit, or it's some writer who don't want to pay artists to draw covers for their book. And they want to type in, 5 or 6 words in an AI prompter and call it a day while robbing their fans. And it's so damn mind blowing to me, because if you're an artist or a writer or whomever you are, and you're hey, what's up, Amy? And you're trying to justify AI when anyone can type in 5, 6, 7 words in an AI prompter and shit out an image. Why would I pay you $20 for your book? Why would I pay you $15, $10? Why would I pay you any of that for your book you're creating? If you go the distance and you create your entire book from AI, which a couple people have done, why would I pay you $10 for your book? It probably took you an hour to create your book. I'm not paying you that money, So you're shooting yourself in the damn foot in the long run, because if you turn that into the norm, to where people just cop out and use AI instead of doing the physical work, you just zeroed out the value of your product. Same goes to artists. Why the fuck would I pay you to AI Batman if I can sit down an AI Batman and print it out on my computer? Why would I pay you $15 for that print? The lack of common sense in this world today is mind blowing to me. Whether it's these people showing their bodies on TikTok and then want to bitch and complain because everybody views them as a piece of meat. Well, you're charging $3.99 a month to look at your butthole. I don't know what to tell you. To sit back and act like you don't understand how that happens. You can't understand why you're 40 years old and single and nobody wants to date you. Well, you're showing everybody your butthole on TikTok. It's the same, because there's no value there anymore. That's my point. And it's across the board. Like, a lot of people are losing their concept of what creates value. Rarity creates value. Expertise, time, work, and energy creates value, whether it's that or whether it's comic related art and writing. If I know it took you 5 minutes to create that cover in AI, I'm not paying you $15 for your book. I'm not paying you $15, $20 for your print when you generated the image in AI. You spent less than $1 making that print. You spent as far as printing it, and then you spent less than 20 minutes creating the image on AI. I'm not paying that. I'll sit at home and make my own damn prints and save my money for other shit. Like the amount of laziness that is running rampant through this world is mind blowing to me. That people are so damn lazy they will shoot themselves in the foot. That people are so damn desperate to do something the shortcut way that they will eliminate the value of doing it. You've got to be a special level stupid to think that that's a smart way to do it. It's the same concept with sellers and flippers, etc., that screw people out of their money and their books. Like, you're a special level of damn stupid, like a brand new level of stupid, that you can't comprehend that you ripping off your customers. And the same goes to artists. You artists that want to ghost people, that want to take money from people and then not deliver on your commissions, or sell people exclusives on your website and take 6 months to ship it for whatever damn excuse or another, because you got woe is me problems. I'm so burnt out on the woe is me problems. Grow a set of balls, put your big girl panties on, and shut the up about your problems. Nobody gives a shit about your problems. Nobody gives a shit about my problems. Nobody gives a shit about personal shit I'm dealing with when it's business related. All they care about is they paid me for a job and I need to do the job. They paid me for product and I need to ship the product in a timely damn manner. So stop crying your rivers. Stop making your posts about, oh my God, oh, somebody didn't like me today, so I need a month to recoup from it. Oh, woe is me. No. So, I mean, you've got to be just a whole nother level of stupid to sit back and think that the long game in this industry is not what's the most important. 10 minutes from now is not important. 6 months from now is not important. It's the long game. If you want to be successful in this business, get off your ass, do the work about every little boo-boo and problem you have. I don't give a shit about your baby daddy, mama's, cousins, brother, sister shit. Do the work or get the fuck out of my industry. Because I'm tired of seeing fans pissed off. I'm tired of seeing fans frustrated and irritated because artists can't do what they're supposed to do. Get the hell off the Xbox. Get the hell off the damn YouTube. Get the hell off whatever the hell you're on and do the work. Answer your PMs. Fans are the lifeblood of this industry. Whether you're a seller or a creator or an artist or whatever the case may be. They are the lifeblood, not you. This don't you know who I am mentality some of y'all have is some stupid shit. Now, while I do agree that if it weren't for artists and creators and writers, etc., there wouldn't be comics. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, if there weren't fans willing to spend their hard-earned ass money on you, there wouldn't be a you, because there'll be another artist. There'll be another writer. There'll be another creator that will do the work you won't do, that will put the fans first, and make sure they're a priority and they're taken care of where you won't. You will come and go. There'll always be artists. But what matters are the artists that do what they're supposed to do, the sellers that do what they're supposed to do. What's up, Mommy? The retailers that do what they're supposed to do. I'm so damn sick of this. I was sick bullshit. Every time I turn around, one of you artists is sick, just sickly. Like, so what? Do the work. You know, if you're sick every damn week, up your vitamins or so. I don't know. But I'm sick of seeing the post after post. And some of you are having some of the biggest opportunities handed to you as a new artist, and you're shitting on it. But yet they keep you around because you're pretty. Or because you kiss the right amount of ass. But it's excuse after excuse after excuse. Oh, woe is me. Get the over it. Do the work. Because once I start getting PMs from your fans that just happen to be my fans too, asking me, have I seen you or heard from you? Because you won't answer their PMs or you won't answer their comments on your posts that you just made when they're asking you to check your PMs, etc. But, you know, you're too busy for that. Don't you know who I am? I can't be bothered with you peasants. Jesus Christ on a cracker. Well, like I said, there's a lot of AI floating around referring to Lisa's comment that it's getting better and better. It is, because a lot of people are creating shit in AI and then they're taking that image, loading it into their Photoshop, and then that's where they clean it up and they fix a lot of the shit that don't work. And that's why I try to tell people, and I'm showing people some examples, there's still ways to tell it's AI. There's something about AI generated images that still has this color palette or texture palette that kind of gives it away, especially when it has to do with the face. in the background. They all very, very look alike in a way. Like I said, like posting like this one right here, like, if you look at, like I said, you see, it's kind of hard for me to explain because I'm not a colorist, but like when you look at that, there's something about the color palette, the lighting. Maybe it's the lighting is part of the main part of it. It creates this really it creates this really interesting um color palette, and lighting palette that is just that is very, like, here's another one. I'll show you another image. What I'm talking about, how it resembles so much. Let me find it here. So, like, okay, so look at the Superman. You see what I'm talking about? How the color palette in the lighting. Now look at this one, completely different person that generated it. But now look at that. Now you see what I'm talking about? You see how the lighting is? You see how the color palette is very similar to the Superman. And I don't mean the color palette in the sense of reds and blues. I just mean the way the colors look. Oh man, I wish I had the right words to give you, but you should be able to see. And of course, then look at her hands, look at her fingers, look how clean her face is. But then look how the hair doesn't look right. Look at that hair that's coming out from under her cape, and by her shoulder, right there. You see what I mean? It's shit like that AI can't get correct. Then you look at another example. Look at her skirt. So now there's her cloak behind her, but then it tries to put the cloak again around her thighs, because it doesn't know how to create flow. And then the fingers are all jacked up. But the face looks real hyper. Again, even if you look at the Superman, you see how the face looks very hyper. But it's the color palette that really puts into it. And if more of you artists don't start taking a stance on this shit, you're gonna lose work. Like, I don't give a shit what people say about, it can't do this and it can't do that. If enough people become comfortable with something, it will become the dominant thing. As human nature, people are always going to take the easier route if they can get away with it. I mean, look at, case in point, look at people now that are walking into stores and just stealing shit and walking out because there's no repercussions, because people now allow it. Once you allow shit, people are going to take advantage of it. So if you don't start opening your mouth and stop being scared to rock the boat, and stop letting the handful of us that do speak up do all the work for you. Get pissed at me if you want to. I don't give a shit. Unfriend is that way. And that's the truth, because there's a lot of you that work this industry. You walk around with your head in the sand. You walk around kissing ass 24/7, and you're scared to rock the boat, even on shit that affects you. You're scared to rock the boat. Oh, we can't talk about people stealing money. We can't talk about other artists ghosting people and abandoning their fans after they've collected their money. Oh, we can't talk about this shit. I need everybody to like me. Yeah, you keep worrying about everybody liking you till your ass ain't got shit, because that's what will happen. That's exactly what will happen. You keep worrying about not rocking the boat. You keep sitting in your cozy ass little area of the art industry and not saying shit, not speaking out, not holding people accountable. And the more artists that rob people, and you sit back and go, man, I don't know what's going on. I can't get anybody to order any online commissions no more. Well, that's because of all the assholes that did online commissions and robbed people of their money. And now we're 3 years waiting on a commission, 5 years waiting on a commission, people ghosting people. And if you don't think it's a legit issue, go look at the comic groups that are designed for reporting artists that don't fulfill their obligations. That thing is super busy. So, and how many groups are there that talk about artists doing the right thing? None that I'm aware of. Not a single damn one that I've seen. You very seldom ever see anybody giving I've done thousands of commissions, and I've barely seen people post the art that they've paid for and gotten and super happy with. I've given away hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of items over the past 4 years, and still hardly see anybody ever post about that. I mean, I had someone win a raffle that won, $600 worth of stuff not too long ago, and that dude still hasn't posted, saying, "Oh God, guys, look what I won." So there's almost never, really and truly, and it's not because people are trying to be mean or anything. It's just they don't think about it. But the minute you ghost somebody, they're going to talk about it. The minute you're an artist and you're shitting on people, people are going to talk about it. The minute you're a retailer and you're not delivering on the product you sold, people are going to talk about it. Like, I can't, again, and that affects your long term, because I can tell you right now, if I find out you're a retailer that screwed an artist or screwed their customers, I'm not going to do anything with you. I'm not going to promote you, because I don't give a shit about your money. I don't need that retailer's money. I don't need that retailer's platform if they're screwing their customers. The same goes with artists. If I find out you're an artist that misses deadlines constantly, that ghosts their fans and shit like that, I won't ever work with you. And if I've worked with you in the past and you've done that, I won't ever work with you again. So, and I'm not saying I'm anybody important. I'm just saying that's the way it should be. This whole bullshit about I don't want to scare nobody. I don't want to chase nobody away. I need everybody to like me. No, you don't. You need the right people to like you. Because I've heard people talk shit about me behind my back. Oh, William complains about this. William bitches about that. It's amazing how they say that behind my back. They don't have the balls to say that to my face, but they'll run their mouth behind their back like I won't hear it. And they want, William bitches about this. And you know what? I do, because this is my industry I work in. I think it matters. I don't want to see people robbing people. I don't want to see people taking advantage of people. I don't want to see people screwing people over. I want my industry to be successful. I want the people in my industry to be successful, even though the majority of the other people floating around this industry, let's just be honest, don't give two shits about their neighbor. When's the last time you cross-promoted someone? When's the last time you shared out someone's Kickstarter that wasn't yours or that you were a part of? When's the last time you promoted some other artist that was on your page? Same thing goes for the retailers. When's the last time you cross-promoted another retailer? So I don't want to hear shit. I've done that. I've given people opportunities to have their first covers and shit. When was the last time you did that? I've promoted sellers. I've promoted other artists. And again, I don't mean that as a pat on my back. That should be the standard. That should be the bare minimum. Like the people want to run around screaming, "I'm independent. I pay my own bills." Oh, grats, you're doing the bare minimums. That's the way I view it. Our platforms should be meant to share. Hey, what's up, Chris? It should be meant to cross promote. And I'm not saying you got to do it 24/7 or anything like that, but don't sit back and talk this community bullshit. And then I look at your page and you've never shared anybody's anything. You're a fake ass bitch. And like I said, the unfriends that way, the blocks that way, use either fucking one. I don't care. I'm tired of the petty bullshit. I'm tired that because I draw a line in the sand, whether it's thievery or whether it's mistreatment or whether it's harassment and bullying, whether it's AI usage, that I'm told I'm the problem. No, bitch, you're the problem because you're a community of sheep. And if what I'm saying is pissing you off, maybe you need to get out of the front of the computer, go look in the mirror and figure out yourself. Because that's the way I look at it. If what I'm saying pisses you off and you don't like it, I don't want you on my friends list no damn way. Because if you can't be respectful to the other people that's grinding and busting their ass, and you can't be kind to the fans, and you can't be kind to the other people that's into your community, you can kiss my ass. It's not hard to be kind. I don't know why that's so damn difficult. It's not hard to be a community and share and promote one another and want to see each other succeed. Why some of you have an ego issue with that is beyond me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand the psychology of it. I just still can't wrap my head around it. I mean, I watched an artist at Cowtown Comic-Con act like a dick to a 16-year-old kid. Why? I mean, I've had fans message me that I just happen to be, co-fans with for someone else, wanting to know if I could contact that artist because after weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, that artist still won't answer their PMs because that artist owes them work. Or retailers talking about, man, have you seen so-and-so? I can't get them to answer me. They owe me paperwork for slabbing books that need to be slabbed. How do you not do your job? Maybe you need to stop playing your pity party, because Lord knows you post enough of that shit on Facebook, crying a river about someone said they didn't like my art. Oh, where's my crayons and my puppy? Somebody said something mean to you? Ooh, welcome to the world. Grow thicker skin. But the sad thing is, I know that's not what it is. I know that's not what it is. They're not offended. Their feelings aren't hurt. Hell, more than likely, the shit didn't happen. I can tell you what it was. I'm a behind on every damn thing because I'm being lazy. And I'm going to make a post where everybody thinks I'm a victim and they'll feel sorry for me. And there'll be 40, 50, 60 comments on it telling me what a superstar I am. Lord it be. Fake ass people. Man, I love the industry. I love the ability of being able to sit down, create art, and then I love the fans. The fact that because this is money they don't have to spend. We are not a necessity in any way, shape, or form. None of us that work in this industry is necessary. Comics are not necessary. Art is not necessary. The fact that most people, again, this is just statistic numbers. Most people live paycheck to paycheck. The fact that they take their hard-earned ass money and they choose to spend that on us with the promise of delivering product alone. Not most of the time we're not handing them something right when they're paying us. So they're giving us their trust along with their money. And then some of you want to shit on it because you're pretty or because you have a bigger name in the industry. And you think don't you know who I am shit matters. Because I got a newsflash for you, cupcake. I don't give a shit if you've been in the industry 20 minutes or 20 plus years. Who you are don't matter. Outside that little room at a Comic-Con you're sitting at, no one knows your name. And the people that do know your name because they made you. I am who I am at this moment because of my fan base. Because of the people I surround myself with, even though I keep my circle extremely small. But at least I know the people in my damn circle aren't fake. Because sadly, with my attitude and my personality, you can't really hang around me too long if you're fake. it just doesn't work. But I am who I am because of that. I have the popularity I have right now. And again, I'm not some huge name, but I've got popularity and I've got a following. But I'm there. It's not me. It's them. They are my following. They make me. How can you shit on someone that gives you a purpose? How can you shit on someone that gives you their hard-earned money in good faith? Money that I guarantee you, in all reality, they probably shouldn't have spent. Because most people, again, me working in the insurance world for 7.5 years, sitting in homes 7 times a day, 4 to 5 times a week. I sat with all kinds of family from low income to $1 million homes to, $300K plus a year incomes, all the way down to people living on SSI, drawing $600 a damn month. And then, of course, the majority of it being the middle class, working class, living paycheck to paycheck. The transmission went out in their car tomorrow, they're screwed. If their hot water heater went out in their home and they didn't have any type of insurance for it, they're screwed. Like, that's the majority. That's the people giving you their money. That's paying these overpriced ass entry fees to these damn Comic-Cons at $70 and $80 a person to come see you. And then you want to shit on it. It's bullshit. It's ridiculous. And the same goes with the AI. If you're using AI, you're shooting yourself in the damn foot. If you are someone who's keeping your mouth shut and allowing it to happen and not speaking out against it, you're allowing it. Not saying anything is saying a shitload. And part of me kind of wonders, are you not saying nothing because you kind of hope that everybody goes, okay, you can use AI? Because, let's be honest, at the end of the day, time is money in our industry. And Lord knows, you could churn out 50 damn covers a day with AI. It all looked the same. It all had the same lighting, same color palette, same shit-ass flavor to it. But, as the world proves, people will sacrifice anything for fast money. Shit. Most of the people online, you can go look at their butthole for $3.99 a month. I'm just saying. You can go watch them bounce their tits up and down on TikTok and then bitch and complain how they have no value for easy money. You got people that are walking into stores and stealing thousands of dollars of shit because nobody chases them. Nobody does anything about it. Easy money. So you don't think that some of us are sitting back and looking and going, are you not saying anything because you're hoping that everybody just goes, okay? Because that's what I think. And I know my opinion doesn't, at the end of the day, my opinion doesn't matter. Let's be honest. Me sitting here being pissed off and venting because I had to listen to some asshole cry a river in my PMs this morning talking about me unfriending someone because they shared a picture of AI was me being selfish and childish. Really? That's selfish. And it's amazing. It's amazing in general how men are told they're not allowed to have boundaries and standards, etc. in general. So now I can't even have my own boundaries and standards in the art community either. Because I already get talked shit on. Because I speak out against a lot of this shit that most of you won't say nothing about. And you can get mad at me if you want to. Because I'm sorry, if you ain't got the balls to say something, you ain't got the balls to say shit. So you can sit back and be pissy at me all you want. Now, are there times that I say these things and I go back and look, well, I wonder how much of a shot in the foot that was, because people don't care. Let's just be honest. People will look at what I just said today and they will turn that into he's a problem, or he's trying to start an argument, or he's being bitchy, and y'all are friends with some of these people. That's what blows my mind. Some of y'all are friends with these people that talk shit about not only me, but other people behind our back that hasn't done shit to no one other than just holding people accountable for their actions, wanting others to hold people accountable. I want you to hold me accountable, but that part I don't have to worry about, Yeah, there may be no filter between my brain and my mouth, and I may be a bit harsh and rough around the edges, whatever. But you won't ever catch me missing deadlines. You won't ever catch me dragging people's commissions out for, insane amount of time. You won't catch me making commitments to people to do covers and then backing out because I sat around playing Call of Duty too much. That shit ain't happening. I'm not the best person in the world. I make fuck ups all the time. I deal with anxiety. I deal with depression, just like everybody else. And the sad thing is, we have no one to talk about with ours. We can't go to Facebook and make a woe is me post like the fair sex can. Let's just be honest. Y'all can get pissy about that if you want to. But see, we can't even do that as a creator or a guy. We can't go to Facebook and express our problems. We'll be fucking made fun of, more shit talked about, or looked at as a danger. Oh, you better stay away from him. He's dealing with shit. I mean, he probably can't get no work done. I'm not going to give that person but then a female can post that shit and everybody's on that damn post giving her all the damn upskirt blowing they can do. And that's just life. So we don't have anyone to vent our shit to. And so sadly, sometimes I vent my shit here. I don't really have a filter. So sometimes I go live and I say these things and later I wonder what, what issue I probably caused with that. But then I have to sit back and tell myself, fuck it. If you can't be a fan of mine because of who I am, I don't need you. If you can't be a friend of mine because of who I am, I don't need you. Because I don't want anyone around me that isn't 100% got my back. Well, I mean, that's true. That's and I need to highlight that because that's the absolute truth. So, ladies, just a heads up. When you do your woe is me post, all the dudes blowing the smoke up your panties, they ain't doing it because they give a shit. So just a heads up on that. It's because it's the same reason you see you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. You know what? To hell with it. It's the same damn reason you see some of these female artists getting opportunities handed to them that they haven't earned. Because the guys thinks if they give her enough damn work, they'll get laid. I'm sick of the simping ass bullshit. It's ridiculous. Guys, you're not getting the digits. I'm going to go ahead and let you in on a secret. I worked the club for years as a bouncer. And I'm talking about Purple Church. You're not getting the digits. Okay? So you can calm down on the, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And that's one of the reasons, I don't have a lot of female artist friends on my page. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with the people taking advantage of the game. I'm just sick of the game. I'm sick of the bullshit ass game. We should be judged and we should be given opportunities on our talent and our work ethic and what we've done. Our library of work. Not, oh, look, I've published one cover. Oh, here, let me give you a Marvel cover, even though you had never done shit else. I know, and the sad thing, and this is why we can't say this, because right now, I guarantee you the way this sounds is, oh, he's just being jealous. And it's not. It's not jealousy. It's frustration. It's the same when I look. Chris, I sent you the link. Should have went through. It's the same frustration when I see someone who hasn't done shit versus all the artists that have a library of published books under their belt. Which now, just to show you what I mean, and when you have a library of books under your belt, that proves several things. One, it proves that you have a following that will buy the books. Okay, it proves that you can meet the deadlines to have that many books done, especially if it was in a short time frame. It proves you can do the quality work that is sellable. Those are the people that should be handed opportunities. Not someone who did one cover. Oh, but you know what? She's a female or she's pretty. So let her grind a work table of stuff and then give the person an opportunity. And there's nothing more frustrating when you see someone that actually has talent that is given an opportunity that technically they haven't earned yet because they haven't done the work to earn it. But they got good work. So cool. Then they take that opportunity and they shit on it. That's frustrating as hell. And like I said, it's no different than you spending hours upon hours creating a piece of art, putting it on social media, and nobody pays it any fucking attention. And then some damn little trifling bimbo can stand there and bounce her tits for 30 seconds on Instagram and have 500,000 views. And like I said, I'm not mad at the person playing the game, because I'm telling you right now, if I was a cute ass female with the cleavage, I'd be abusing the shit out of it. Because there's enough simps running around that's gobbling it up. So I'm not mad at the player. I am mad at the game. And it's a bullshit game. Chris, did you get the thing? Did it come through? Oh, maybe it didn't. Or did it? Oh, he might be setting his shit up. I don't know. And there's a lot of artists that are frustrated with this. Both male and female. That are aggravated as hell seeing other damn people get given opportunities that they did not earn yet. I'm just the only one stupid enough to say it out loud.
What's up?
There's Mr. Chris Hayes, the pimp, the legend.
Hold on, I can't even hear you. Something going on.
No, take your time.
Yeah, audio.
But that's what's aggravating. It's so damn frustrating. And the fans deserve better. The fans deserve you being responsive. They deserve you fulfilling work orders in a timely manner. I don't understand how y'all can't see the long picture. Can you hear me now, Chris?
I can hear you. You're gonna stroke out again,
dude. I'm telling you, man.
I'm working on budgeting, and then I get a text message going, "Hey, William's live," and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a break from work and go watch this." And yeah, I don't know. I got some blood pressure pills I'm gonna send your way to calm you down.
Dude, I'm just, man, I don't know how you guys deal with it. I don't know why I can't let go of it. It is so aggravating, man. Like from the like, and I don't know whether it's because maybe people feel comfortable talking to me because that I'll get those messages. Hey, have you heard from so-and-so? I keep trying to get a hold of this artist. They're on your friends list, but they won't answer me. They won't reply to my post. They just made a post yesterday and I commented on it. They won't answer me. They've owed me art for almost 2 years. I don't understand how you guys deal with it, man.
No, nothing you can do about that. People just reach out to you because they think you have the in with the other people. So you can take that anyway. That could be a compliment towards you going, hey, you have enough people that know a lot of people in the industry, or but you can't judge what everybody else does.
Yeah.
That's how we take it. I mean, so you're going off on the AI piece again.
Yeah.
AI sucks. We know it. But
yeah, me talking about it's not going to change shit.
No. And here's the thing, though. Everybody has their opinion. There are people out there that love it, right? So honestly, you have to respect everybody's opinion, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, they can love it all they want. They just won't be on my friends list.
Right. I mean, that's fine. I mean, you have your opinion on it. I don't use it. I don't like it. I mean, I do stick figures. I mean, you're going to AI that. Go ahead.
But your view on it, like everyone knows your view on it. Like, it's a zero tolerance. That charter won't allow it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, you've made your point and everything. And one of these days I'll probably get to the point where I don't give a shit, sadly. And I'm not saying nobody doesn't give a shit, but what I mean is to the point that I need to go to live on the video and rant about I'm sure I'll eventually get to that point, but and then there's days where there's part of me where I sit and because I'll do the same thing with this video. Once I'm done, I'll sit down and go, there's no point. I'll work it through in my head, because when someone tells me I'm being an asshole because I'm having standards or I'm having boundaries, I'm going to be pissed off and I'm going to state my opinion on it.
Well, I text you that every day.
Yeah, that's the part with the no filter, and I just, like I said, I can respect anyone else's decision choice. I don't go to anyone's page and say shit about them about anything they post. I don't go, whether it's politics, whether it's religion, I don't say shit to nobody. So when I get a PM from somebody telling me that I'm being childish and I'm being selfish and I'm being self-centered, etc., because I'm being judgmental on people using AI, I'm going to be irritated and pissed. Again,
and that's fine, but you have to look at, again, it's like politics. AI has become the new political talk. And
yeah, kind of.
Everybody is, do you want to be in the spotlight or do you not? What do you do? Is that spotlight going to hurt you? Doesn't matter who you are. You have to look at, if you're trying to get work down the line, and this is not just for you, this is anybody. Is your opinion going to hurt you in this matter? I mean, you draw, you bust your butt every day, you're posting, you promote yourself in front of other people, you draw. Yes, you're going to have a stance against AI because that's your livelihood, just like Miko John, God, all the Scott's Collectible guys, everybody we know that's artists that are against it, which is a good thing, right? Yeah. We're against it. We're not going to use it. Just like at Cowtown. We had signs up. We're not allowing it at Cowtown. We walked around. Nobody had it. We made that clear. If we see it, we're going to ask you to take it down. We're not going to just remove you and move your tape. We're not going to do that. But we're going to ask you to take it down, please, out of respect for the artists.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that make the industry. But there are some people out there, I don't agree with it, that love it. There's somebody out there that has a full AI cover. Okay.
Oh, there's a couple of full AI books.
Yeah, you want to do it, and people know it's AI. People know it's fake, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. They know it's fake. They're going to spend their money toward it, then that's on them, right? They know they're getting fake work. Nobody did anything but type in a couple of words for it. Sad thing is, we use AI every day. This thing right here is got AI, right?
Yeah, it does. But
everything you use, and it's coming. That's the sad thing. Yeah. It's coming. I mean, but here's the thing. Just like you said, we're all going to fight it. Hell, there's things in Congress fighting AI for different reasons, not artwork, but other things right now. But it's coming. So 10 years from now, everything we do is going to be AI. 20 years from now. But I don't want it. If I want somebody's art print, or I want somebody's artwork, or I want somebody doing a cover for me, I want the real thing. I want that artist who put in the time and drawn it, just like Mom be saying. I want to see the progress on it. I don't want somebody just to go type in a couple of words and off it. There it is.
Yeah, like I said, it's for me. It's I think I think one of the worst things we have as a human populace right now is it's too easy to sit back and go, it is what it is. I think that's too easy. I think that allows too much stuff to happen. I mean, we've done that, whether it's, the way the stuff is allowed on TikTok and Instagram and shit like that in my opinion shouldn't be allowed. People should have more value for themselves now you got AI. And I think me personally, I think the more people sit back and don't say anything, don't take a stance on it,
right,
that just allows the door open more for people to become more accepting of it.
And this generation's lazy. That's what it is. It goes back to laziness. People don't want to do the work, right? And AI started. You got Chat GP, which is AI, which started with colleges, and that AI program would write students' theses.
Yeah.
Right, and they were getting away with it. And now there are software programs for the professors to catch that, to say, oh, that was written by AI. Well, they're catching it now, so they can't use it. But for a while, kids could go out and party and get drunk and wake up in the morning and have an 8 a.m. class, their thesis is due, and at 7 a.m. they're typing in the words to write their thesis. In 15 minutes it's written, they print it out and they hand it in. I mean, that's just the generation. If people are lazy these days, they don't want to do the work, they're lazy, and that's how the country and everybody else is accepted. Times are different. It sucks, but that's just how it is.
I'm in the wrong century or something.
No, more people respect it if you do it. There are all kinds of different. At the end of the day, it's just a matter of how many if statements someone puts in the code. There you go, Keith. That's exactly it. I mean, AI is used for everything. I mean, our topic is art, right? Yeah.
Here's the thing.
All your fans, most of the people that go to the cons, most people know they want the art that's really done by the artist, right? They just don't want some Yahoo coming in that's sat at his computer for 4 hours one day getting ready for a con and made a bunch of prints, typed in a bunch of images, and then went and made prints of them. Then he hangs it up in his booth. Sadly, there are cons that allow that, and it's going to keep happening. But most cons have taken the stance that they're not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
But again, 10 years from now, we could be talking about all something new, right? I mean, this is and it's a hot topic, and it's going to be a hot topic, but people know your stance on it. People know most of the artist's stance and most everybody else's stance. I look at people that want to buy AI art as the same people that drive down the road with the mask on in their car with the windows up. That's the way I look at it. And people don't like me because I say that, but you know what? That's my opinion. I have my own opinion. I can say that. You don't have to like it, but there's something called, free speech. So that I can do. And I think that's the most ignorant people I've ever seen in my life. And I laugh at it. I still see that shit, and I laugh at it.
My favorite's the one that's walking in the park by themselves in the sunny, bright day wearing a mask. That's a cute one too.
There's still people that do that, but I've talked to a couple, and some people, you may look at it like, oh my God, they're still doing a mask thing. Well, no, some actually have to wear it because they may have an autoimmune disease that they wore that mask when they go outside, that they've had that on before COVID and stuff. You don't know these days, but anyway. That's a whole other subject.
Everybody listening, let's make sure that everybody understands the key word here. AI in its current form is theft. So this isn't an issue of me bitching about new technology like some people want to try to argue it. Oh, it's no different than digital. No, in its current form, it's theft because of the way it generates its images, scraping the internet. The fact that you can type in Batman, nighttime, raining, art germ style, and you get something that looks like his artwork. That's the issue for anyone who's listening that may be unfamiliar with what the problem is. That's the problem. If that guy that created the first AI app, if he had done it with the intention to make artists' lives easier, to where it didn't pull information from the internet, that you had to physically load your information on a computer, most artists wouldn't have batted an eye, because they would have been able to load their stuff, generated their images based off their technique, their style, and it would have been time versus money, So just want to make sure that that's known, so people don't think we're just bitching about, or I'm just bitching about new technology.
No, because AI is everywhere. Technology is AI. I mean, it is. And look at what Keith said. I didn't even hear about that one. That a judge caught attorneys using ChatGPT to write a legal brief. See that? Those guys. That's just dumb. But there I go again. People are too lazy to do the work.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have an imagination. They don't want to do the work, so they do that. See, Mombi, we can't get on mask because, God, I'll get in trouble and I'll get blocked by 1,000 people. My opinions start coming out.
Anyway. I'm dangerous. I draw out hard truths.
Oh, I know. That's why we got to tell you to calm down sometimes. Take something.
For those that are wondering, Chris is sometimes Chris is he helps me out by being my kind of like what's the little guy?
I'm the buffer before you actually put on the psycho style mask and go walk around and actually just start slicing people up. That's the way I like to see it, because
I don't think I would go that far. I don't think I would go that far.
You've been there a few times. You've been there a few times. You're close. Hell, I've been close. But McLean and I will talk and be like, hey, William's about to lose it. He's about to stroke out live. Pretty soon you're going to hear sirens coming from all over. But going back to,
Chris, for those that may not know, might be joining, Chris is a talented writer, tons of books under his belt. He also wrote the first 3 books for Psycho Sal. He helped me develop a lot of the stuff with the story and the character. He also runs Charter Comics with McLean, which is an incredibly good publishing house, I guess you could call it, with a lot of great books under their umbrella. Also, if you guys aren't following that page. But
boy, they did good in New York. Ken and McLean, they sold a lot of books in New York. Yeah, a lot of prints, non-AI prints of Ken's, and a lot of books. They did really well. Speaking of that, I got to get with you on a cover later this afternoon. I'm going to go in a minute. I got to get ready for another conference call.
Oh, okay, cool.
Shirts, make myself look pretty. It's another. We've got I got Waiting coming out that's being colored, and then I've got a new one called Darkness Screams that I'm writing now. So I'm gonna need a cover on there.
Okay.
I'm gonna have about 8 covers, I think, for this one. So
nice.
The concepts are really cool.
Can you give us like an overview of what this story's about yet, or
not at all?
Okay.
No, not yet. Not yet. We are. I'm about 4 pages in right now. So when I'll get with you on it and let you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's really cool.
I see how it is, Mama. You see how it is, Chris? See, they people want to get you on podcasts. They're scared to put me on podcasts.
Yeah, see, because I'm calm. But you have to be. I can't.
Calm,
no spoiler. I can't go off about that. I have a regular job. I have to watch.
So see, that's the thing, guys. I don't want you to think Chris is like trying to get on here and water anything down. Chris is kind of more of the voice of reason on a lot of things, especially dealing with shit I talk about. But Chris also has a full-time job. He runs a comic shop, also Pastime Comics. So, the guy, and I get that. Like, I understand there's some people floating around that they can't just be as open and honest as I am sometimes, or blunt as I am sometimes, because there's other things involved. But there's some of you artists floating around. Y'all can speak up a little more. I'm just saying.
McLean and I have a new saying for you. We're going to get you on a call that you can tell people. And if McLean's watching, give me a thumbs up. I think he's on here. Brian used this the other day. I can't say it, but we'll wait. I'm going to keep everybody waiting. But it's a new statement. You can actually because we know you will use it live. I can't say it. You will. It was out of the blue, and it was absolutely hilarious. We weren't expecting it at dinner the other night. We were all sitting around having dinner at Dairy Queen before the show, a bunch of the guys, and Julian was razzing Brian, and you know how those two are. But there it is. There's McLean saying, "Yep, see, he's on there." And McLean even brought it up this morning, and it was like the greatest line I've heard all year, and came out of nowhere. So you could actually use this. It needs to be on a shirt. Has to do with X-ray vision. We'll put it that way.
Oh, okay. I need to start wearing my other shirt a little bit more. I got to find it, because I just realized the other day I was going to take it with me and to a show, and I couldn't find it. I've got a shirt that has to do with egos and artists, and it says, "Check your ego. You're drawing comics. You're not storming beaches."
That's true. It goes back to wearing a mask in the car. I'm sending you this line because McLean sent it to me earlier. So there you go. I texted it to you. Wouldn't say it online, but you have this saying that you tell me that's not absolutely genius. I think he had McLean in tears. I mean, we couldn't even. Isn't that something? Just imagine you're sitting around a table and somebody's razzing you, and you just right out of the blue that comes out of your mouth.
So then a lot of people leave you alone. One way or the other, I guess. Positive or negative, I guess they'll leave you alone.
Oh my God!
When you get my Universal Monsters from, did you order one?
What are you talking about?
To see me in person. I was on an episode. Jesus, when was that? 2019, before everybody
No,
realized
you were on there earlier. I remember watching you.
that must have been like 5 years ago before everybody realized I was a hard ass.
No, you were hard. No, I think it was earlier in the year you were on there. So
This year? Oh my God, my memory is terrible. Jesus, my
yeah, I
memory.
don't know. I'm pretty sure you were on there.
All right, so you got which I'll probably end up deleting this video anyway, because again, that's usually the way it goes. I rant and then I delete the video because I don't feel like arguing with somebody about my damn thoughts any damn way. So if you weren't here and privy to the thought process, you miss out. Texoma's coming up. Oh, okay. He's talking to somebody. Don't feel bad.
Right.
I forget what happened yesterday.
Oh, Texoma Comic Con? Yeah. You know what? I got two things. Texoma Comic Con, February 24th, 25th in Durant, Oklahoma. That one's going to be big. We had a lot of fun at Cowtown this year. We got a lot of good feedback. And then Cowtown, we signed the contract yesterday. We are moving to Dickies Arena, which is bigger, which is gorgeous. Dickies Arena is a staple in Fort Worth. Everybody knows it. That'll be our new home from here on out. So we signed our deal yesterday. I know McLean's working on the new flyers and all that, but Dickies Arena, October 26th and 27th next year.
Yeah.
That way we're not competing with New York. We ain't got to deal with state fair stuff like we did this year.
Yeah, no lie.
All that's passed. So we are end of October going back. We're going to have some horror guests in, but again, that's we'll have that website up and build. I know McLean's working on it. He doesn't get to take a break. He came back from New York, and I figured he would take Monday and Tuesday off, honestly, to sleep. And then on Monday, he got back Monday, and then I think he sent a message in our group that, hey, I'm already changing logos and stuff. I was like, what the hell? That guy doesn't sleep.
That's what I try to tell people. Like, when it comes to, there's certain people in this community that there's no downtime. There's no break. You might get one day here, one day there. Like, man, sadly, a lot of people don't understand the amount of work McLean does behind the scenes is ridiculous. And I mean, there's others of us that do tons of work too. You work shitloads of hours. I work shitloads of hours, but the amount of damn shit McLean has constantly going and still staying professional and still staying, humble and if any damn body was walking around that should have if there was an allowance for the don't you know who I am attitude, like it ought to be McLean.
He's working on books I didn't even know he was working on. I mean, that's his thing though, right? I mean, that's his job. He doesn't just work on my books or your books or other people's books that we know. There are a crap load of books out there that he works on that nobody knows, right? He sent me one yesterday, and I'm not going to say the title of it or anything because it's not out yet or anything, but he's like, hey, can you check a couple things for me on this? And I was like, damn, this looks good. And I said, I was reading it, looking at the interiors of this new book. I don't even know who the creator is, right? Didn't have anything. It was just all the pages that we put in the PDF and messed with it and then sent it back to him. But I was like, damn, this looks freaking good. And I don't know the creator. I don't know who did the interior artwork. But I was like, of course, my mind's like, oh, we use this guy for interiors too. But I don't know how many other books this guy's working on. And, he's messaging me like, hey, I'm almost done lettering waiting. Hey, Matt's already coloring waiting. We're like, holy crap. Okay. And then, but yeah, that's one. And then we went to Dickies, we had to go sign the stuff early yesterday morning. And then we get back, he's on calls with other people. He works with other publishers. So I don't know how he does it. And then he's got 2 kids that he's, you gotta manage the time and all the family time with the kids and everything on top of everything he does. That's why he's up at like 4 a.m. working, and then family time. And then whenever the kids go to bed at 8:30 or 9, then he's back at his desk working again. So,
there's I've told people before, I'm a big believer. Like I like when someone comes to me and they go, oh, you'll never guess what so-and-so said about you. Like, I don't give a shit. I know people run their mouth about me. And that, so for my opinion on it, my thought on it is I don't care what they said about me. I want to know what you said about me to them. That's what matters to me. How did you defend me or whatever? So I let people so for me, there's a very small window. that it would never do anybody any damn excuse to roll up and try to talk shit to me about McLean. They're going to get their feelings hurt. Same thing goes with you, and the same thing goes with like Cowtown. Like I, I've had people roll up to me at a show and want to go to bitching about, this problem or that problem. And I'll tell them real damn quick, if it has to do with certain people, you might want to go find someone else to talk to about that. And I feel that way about McLean because I know I've seen what he's doing behind the doors and every damn thing. Same thing goes with like Cowtown as a Comic-Con. I've seen the amount of, behind the scenes shit y'all do, the above and beyond y'all do compared to any other Comic-Con. So yeah, it won't do them any good to come up and say like, oh, McLean did, like, what did you do? that would be my question. Like, if McLean dropped the ball, what did you do? Because that just doesn't happen. So yeah. It's just Jesus.
Yeah, we've got that. We do this. We hear it, and it's part of the industry.
Yeah,
you're gonna make somebody mad because you didn't use them on this cover, so they figured you didn't use them on this cover, so it hurt their feelings. But, there are, we use Ken. I hear it. Oh, you play favorites? No, I don't play favorites. Well, I play favorites because they're part of Charter, right? It has nothing to do with anything else. They're friends. They put out amazing work. Yeah, they get their shit done. That's why we use them on a cover. They have good followers. But at the same time, we also use other people, right? We give other people that haven't been on covers before. But so say we use one or two other people on a cover, but we don't use them on the next book. Or we've heard, oh, well, you must not like my work. It has nothing to do with it. There are 70 cover artists out there, and yes, I'm exaggerating, but they, that message us, hey, and we're always going to do this. Hey, send us your work, just like you do on Psycho Side. You use different cover artists. You use one or two of the same, and then you use different. That's the same thing. We're not doing anything different than Marvel or somebody else does. You got Spider-Man covers, you got Matina on all these Night Terrors books when DC put out, which were great covers, and it was the same cover artist on 9 different books pretty much. So it has anything to do with favoritism. There's a lot of work to go around. There's a lot of people out there on interior artists. We got our colorist with Matt. I mean, that guy's locked in, so we love him. He does amazing work. But as far as cover artists, we have people that we want. Depends on also what the book is, how their style is going to fit that book, right? We got Nut Brigade. We've got Lacey doing one. We put Deanna on a Nut Brigade. We use Lauren Gibson on Nut Brigade. It's just we have so many different people that we can use. So I'm getting messages we use a lot of interior artists on different books. They finish the book and they're like, we're ready for another one. Well, we don't have work yet. We don't have another book yet. We've got this book, but we got this guy tied to do this one. And we hear it all the time. And they're messaging weekly, hey, do you have any work for me? You have any work for me? It's hard to write constant stories because what other people don't understand. I wish we had a book a month coming out, but that book a month, some people don't understand. It costs over $2,000 to make a book by the time your interiors are done, your colors are done, your lettering's done, and you have to pay for all that. That shit adds up real quick. So if the book's not a good one, you don't get your money back on that. So we slowed down a little bit this year because we've got a lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah, but that's also where it's super. Artists, and we'll cut this off. I know you got stuff to do, but I just want to reiterate on that. Like a lot of you artists out there, up and coming guys, or even people that's been around for a while, you guys have to realize that if none of this is personal. That it has to do with because there's been a couple of books that Chris and them's done that I didn't do a cover for, and whether it was because I maybe didn't have time or they already had the artists lined up, or it was a certain type of book that they needed a certain type of art for. So and then not everybody can slap everybody on every damn book. You can't have 100 damn copies on every damn book you do. So that falls into it. Then also. You artists have got to take a damn little bit of responsibility for yourself. You can't be a brand new artist and this happens. So I'm giving you a real life story here. Someone contacted me saying, oh my God, I love seeing the Psycho South stuff. I see that you're putting different artists on it. I'd love to do a cover for your book. And I go, okay, well, send me a couple examples. And I look at it and I go, okay, that's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. All right, what's your page rate? It's $400 to do the artwork. How many books have you done? Oh, this will be my first one. You're not a $400 artist. I don't give a shit how good your art is. You're not a $400 cover artist because you don't have a following. You've not done any published work. So I have nothing to promote with. All I got to do is hope the few people that's been buying commissions from you and your mom that tells you you're the amazing artist is going to buy your book. So you got to keep that in thought. So put yourself with a little humble pie and realize you're brand new, that you're not a $400 artist. The other thing is be mindful of what's on your Facebook page. If you send me that type of message, or Chris or anyone else, and we go to look at your Facebook page to see how much art you're posting, or at least I know I personally do this, and I look at 6 months of your Facebook page and it's Cry Me a River this, and it's bitch about this, and it's video game this, and it's basketball game this, and it's baby mama's cousin's nephew drama this. I'm not hiring you because you've 6 months and you posted one piece of art. That means you're not grinding. That means you're not doing the work. That means that I can't depend on you to meet a deadline. You know, now I'm not saying you can't meet a deadline. It's just the odds are not in your favor. You know, so you guys have got to be mindful of that too. Be reasonable about what your cost is. Be reasonable about, what you post, and being able to post more art than bullshit. I mean, I don't think I'm wrong for looking at it that way, am I?
No, because I get the same thing, and I'm like, okay, so this will be your first book. You're wanting $600 for a cover. Yep, I can already say no. For one, we have a budget on all our covers, and we do multiple covers per book. So I have to look at who that artist is $600 valued, when I can go a couple of $300 more, maybe a little more, and go get an Alan Quall or a Perillo or a Bjorn. Yeah. Give me a guy that's got 1 million followers that's going to promote the book, and all his fans that have done Marvel and DC covers for a couple $100 more on top of that, to somebody that's never done artwork, never done a published cover, that's not going to bring in the following to help recoup that cost. So, yeah, me and McLean have those talks all the time when we're lining out. Hey, matter of fact, we're this new book. We were talking yesterday in the car. We were like, all right. And I looked at him and I showed him the concepts, and the concepts are cool. Simple, but they're cool. And I said, he goes, damn, you got 8 covers. I go, yeah, I want 8 covers, but I want them to look like this with the artist style, but this is what we're doing. He goes, yeah, I like that. It fits. And it's funny because we'll look at it and go, well, who do you think can do this concept? Ken, exactly. What about this one? William, give him one, this one, or this one. Exactly. Okay, we got these other concepts. What do you think? And we start naming off people because we've seen their work, going, what do you think about this person? Let's ask them if they can do it. Because a lot of it goes in, okay, let's ask this person. We can ask, artist A. They may be busy and can't hit a 60-day, right? 60 days out, we may need this covered. They can't hit it because they got other parts. That's fine. We move to the next one, right? Or we've got, like you, I can be like, hey, can you knock this out? Or Ken, it's crazy because we'll give you a concept or say, do your own thing. Well, shit, 4 days later, you're turning in the cover. And we're like, whoa, we didn't need this for 30 days. You already got it in. So, because you want it off your plate. Sadly, you don't get that with a lot of people.
Well, it's because in those situations, let me fill you guys in on something. This bullshit where we hand someone 60 days, and in some cases, a little more than that, almost 70, and they can't get a cover done, which has happened on my book before too. It's bullshit. I travel to cons. I do commissions. I do tons of covers, and I can still meet my deadlines by a tremendous amount. The issue is, and this is where people are screwing up, and you artists need to stop this. They'll go, oh, I don't have to have the book done for 60 days. Okay, I can knock that out, man. I got that. They wait till the last week to when it's due, and then they want to try to knock it out, but then they get sick, or their dog dies, or, the aliens visited, whatever their damn bullshit ass excuse is. And that's what happens. They done ran out of time. Now they're asking for extension. So just to be clear, that's what's happening. Because if I can churn out the amount of work I churn out with, or Ken can churn out the amount he does, et cetera, these other people can do it too. So, just to clarify. Now, Chris can't say that, but I can.
No, I can't say that. But Mombi's right. We look at people, but we do so many good artists out there. Golly, I don't. There's a list. I mean, there have been some that we've used that the work's been good, but there's also some, like you said, that
The
They
experience.
couldn't hit a deadline, or they didn't do the work, and
Or help promote.
we'd give them an extension, and we'd get promised, oh, well, I'll have it done this Friday.
Yeah.
Never got done.
I had a pro artist for Psycho Sound #5. He had 60 days to do the cover. I gave him 3 extensions after the 60 days, and he still couldn't meet those. So I finally told him, hey, bud, wish you the best.
Well, here's a lot of it, and McLean and I have talked about this, and this is exactly what it is. Yes, you're an artist, but you're also now, because you have your own story, you're an independent creator, right? That's what we are, independent creators. We are not Marvel writers or DC writers or image writers. We are, we are independent creators. We're small in the creator category. We are not prioritized like some of these other ones. So when you get a bigger name artist out there, and we've used some that have knocked this thing out of the park that I will use 100 times if they're, and we've asked, we've used Alan Quall and stuff. Peach has done a cover for. They're so busy, it's hard to get them. And I get it, right? They're staying busy. But there are other artists that have done Marvel stuff that we have asked. They have agreed to it. Well, then all of a sudden, they don't get it done. That's because our stuff gets pushed to the bottom because we're not a high priority. Because, I've had an artist in our store before that does stuff. I'll never use them. Don't know if they know what they said, but I was standing there talking to them. I said, hey, I'd love to get you on a Ferryman cover. Oh, yeah, we can talk about something, but let's talk about a book that actually sells. And that's what they told me. And my mind was like, all right, mother, I didn't say it. I said, okay.
I'm glad I wasn't standing there for that shit.
That's fine. This was after a Quall cover. This was after a Peach Momoko cover. This is after all the covers and all these books that sold. And we hear this, and I'm like, book's got over 20,000 copies sold. I mean, yes,
the book
not
sells
blowing it out,
real good,
but it sells. And I don't know if they understood what they said, but it came right out of their mouth. Well, let's work on a book that actually sells. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Never approached them again, and I won't. I still see him at cons. I talk to him. I'm cordial. And I told McLean, he knows who it is, and McLean's mouth dropped. And I go, yeah, can you believe that wasn't, because you get that. And I'm like, that's fine. That's their opinion. That's okay. We're not for everybody. But you just showed me the type of person you are to say, I will never work with you, right? I won't ask you to do a cover for me. You may not want to, and that's fine, but you don't have to worry because I'm not going to come to you and say, hey, do you want to do this for us? We'd love to have you on this. Now, if that person ever comes to us and go, man, I really like to do a cover for you. Yeah, I just don't have anything right now. That's how I'm going to approach it. I don't have anything right now. Not going to drop names, not going to do that. That will always stick in my mind because I literally wanted to laugh and go, okay. And again, I'm not big time. We are not big time by any means. We don't act like it. We're humble.
See, this is how
we're independent guys.
People are. That's how uneducated a lot of people are. How many times have we seen 3,000 print run Marvel books for this artist and some bigger name artists, and the books barely sold 1,000 copies?
They're sitting in our store. We've done exclusives on a Marvel that's sitting in our store that we hadn't sold out for a year now. Yeah, but that's part of it. And then there are some that 1,000, 3,000 print run, they're gone, right? Hey, and a lot of people don't look at it. You also have to look at, right, if you go back to the comic book industry and get away from independent creators, you look at stores now. Us, McLean and I, and Julian and Brian owning Pastime. You look at that. We do exclusive covers. We haven't done one in a while. Our exclusive cover game is down. A lot of stores are. There's so many of them out there, nothing wrong with it. We still buy them from Unknown. We buy them from BTC for our own personal collection because we love them, right? There's so much good artwork out there. But as a store, we've kind of backed off a little bit. We've got them out there unless a good opportunity comes around on a cover we want to do that we'll partner up with somebody that will do one. But the last couple we did, we've broken even on, which is fine. You want to broke even. We've had some exclusives that were Image that we had done Image that we blew out of the park. But our store's just not that one that's big into the exclusive game. I know stores that tear it up, man. Unknown, BTC, Their stuff always sells. Comics Elite. I mean, their stuff is insane. It always sells, always blows out of the water. There are other stores that we've got friends that we talk to that have tried to do exclusives. They're like, I can't sell them. Well, no, none of us have that following like 2 million people like these other guys do. Plus, it doesn't matter the art. A lot of it has to do with the book. Yeah, I mean,
we do a live show and they got 400 people in the live show.
Yeah,
it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, it is, and because they know the work, but that's what they do. They're promoting constantly. They're doing all that. That's not us. I wish we were at that level. We're not there yet. We'll continue to do exclusives, but we just pick and choose right now on the books coming out. Before we were jumping on them, and we were selling them. Like Image was putting out a lot of Stray Dogs, I Hate Fairylands, Hell Cops. We were doing all that, and they were doing great. But then everything kind of slowed down. I think a lot of it is, honestly, you look at it as we talk about as store owners, we're in a recession, in a comic recession. People are still spending monies because you can't, there are good shows, there are bad shows. Any Comic Con you go to is 50-50, right? Who's going to show up? You could have 40,000 people walking around like we saw in Houston, right? You were sitting next to me in Houston.
Oh,
Houston,
yeah.
Great show. Great show. You can't say it wasn't a good show. There were thousands and thousands of people walking around that show. Nobody bought. Nobody bought, right?
Yeah,
and that wasn't just from me or from you or from McLean or from Lacey across from us or from Arrow or that whole row or other people we know. Nobody had stuff in their hands. And it wasn't just us. We would talk to other vendors. So, but it wasn't, you can't consider that a bad show because 30,000 people walking that floor. They just weren't buying, right? You go to Cowtown, we didn't have the attendance we had in the past. We were fighting State Fair and all that. We had a lot of vendors say, look, we had a couple thousand come through. That's still pretty good attendance. We had a bigger vicinity, but people bought.
Yeah.
They were spending money. We had a lot of vendors that said they did very well, that they did more than what they did at last year's show.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as big of an attendance, but you still have 2,000 people come through during the weekend, which is still a good attendance for a small show. But they were buying. I mean, and we've been to shows. McLean and I have set up and been to shows just like Houston. We have 10,000 people walking around. Nobody's buying. Then again, we've been to shows to where, there it is, Keith. Yeah, inflation and everything. People are pulling their money back. They don't have disposable income. But then again, we've been to shows to where 200 people are there at a smaller show, and everybody's stopping at everybody's booth and buying something.
Well, a lot of that also falls down on some of these shows are now, to be fair, they charging too damn much to get in the door.
I agree. $80 is a lot of damn money for a family of 4 to walk in at a con.
And that show in Houston, that show is probably half the size of MegaCon Orlando. And they were trying to charge MegaCon Orlando prices to get in the door. $80 on a Saturday.
You got to be able to justify it.
Adults, holy shit.
And then $20 parking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. And the inflated parking. And now
parking you can't do nothing about. We're learning that. I'm telling you, we're learning that at Cowtown. We're learning it. Is the city runs all this stuff. So parking is out of show, and I can't blame show promoters anymore because us being show promoters, we're doing these city shows. And we get hit with parking, and they tell us even though we negotiate some stuff, man, parking is out of our hands. And people don't get that. Sometimes people are like, even vendors are like, well, we got this, and you charge us this.
That's got nothing to do with you guys.
That has nothing to do. We're trying. There's, like this year, what did we do? We paid for a day's parking.
Oh my God, I believe that shit when I got there that day, and they were like, here's your badge and everything. And by the way, there's a thing in there, a voucher, where we paid for every day. Cowtown paid for every single artist, vendor, etc. that was part of that show that day or that weekend. They paid for everyone's parking for that, Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. That is that is insane. Like I'm even sat back going, man, that was overkill, but that, like I said, that's why I brag about you guys, and that's why I promote you guys so heavily as a con, as someone and yourself who does Comic Cons. That is not the norm. I mean, you are literally the one and only that I have ever seen do that. Now, whether you do that in the future is irrelevant, but that was insane. Then the fact that you guys gave everybody true 10 by 10 spaces, that's rare today. Then the fact that you guys are charging affordable prices for fans to get through the door with the process thinking, oh, well, if they spend less money coming through the door, they got more money to spend at people's tables.
Exactly.
I mean, y'all could easily, that show, for those that haven't done Cowtown, that was in a 5,000 square foot area that they grew from the year before and the year before. This was only their third show for this Comic-Con, and it had a great turnout, in my opinion, great attendance. It had a great variety of artists. They're true to the Comic-Con style of doing things, and, with more artists and creators and things like that also. But you guys are giving people fair prices on tables and booths. You guys are giving people fair prices on space, so to speak. And then you're doing these insane entries, because with that show being as big as it is, even as a brand new show, you could easily be charging $40 or $50 a person to get in on Saturdays, and people would pay it, because that's still cheaper than other shows that match in the size. Memphis was charging I think it was like $50 or $60, $40 to $60 for a Saturday pass, or something like that. And that show is not even half the size of yours. And you guys are charging, what y'all charge? What was it? $20?
$15.
See what I mean?
Never raised that. It's just like our booth prices. We're not raising them again. Our booth prices stay the same, because we want people knowing that we could raise our booth prices. We know it. But why? Because when we sit around as a group and talk about it, and we're not patting ourselves on the back. There you go, Jeff. Thanks. It is, we come from, I think that's where we're, honestly, and I'll say it, where we're different, because we go set up at shows. We know show promoters, and some of the show promoters who set up their shows are awesome people. Chris Slaytosh runs his shows. Awesome. Runs great shows, and he's taught us some stuff, and we listen to him. I just think that we sit around and we're like, we care, and we don't want all the negativity. We don't want people going, well, damn, they're charging $30 on a Saturday. When we've had family of 5 and 6 walk up on at Cowtown buying tickets, and they're like, okay, well, kids 12 and under are free. There's people coming up. There are cons that don't let kids in for free unless they're like 5 and under. I don't get that, right? The con's supposed to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
The more butts you have walking through that door, it's not always about, and again, what was funny? Me and McLean were talking about this the other day. I'm jumping off track here. I got 5 minutes. We're not corporate. If you're a corporate con, you don't care what vendors think. Vendors could have a piss poor show. People don't care, right? As long as they get their $80 at the door per head, they're not giving any discounts, and they make their $600 to $900 per booth. As long as they can make their $1 million profit, they don't care what kind of fun people have or who complains. They don't care, right? We're not like that. We don't want people complaining. We want everybody to come in, have a good time, buy from the vendors. That's why the prices are low, and we're always going to be like that. Because we're on that side. We go to cons. You do too. We set up. We're vendors. We're there as well, set up as vendors, so we see everything. So it doesn't do us any good as a con to promote a con if we're breaking the norm. If we're out there being those guys that are charging $60 on a Saturday to get in the door, it doesn't justify anything. I don't care who the hell you have at your show. I don't care if you've got Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill, you got at your show, he's going to bring in 1,000 people, right? Yeah. But again, you're going to walk over to Mark Hamill, and he's also, which is fine. This is his fees. He's going to charge $100 for an autograph and $100 for a photo, and he's going to do a combo deal, and people pay it, and that's fine.
Yep.
So why charge $60 to $80 at the door for somebody to get in just to go see that guy, and all they have money for is that one guy?
Yep.
They're not going to walk by your table and see anything. They're not going to walk by Ken Salinas. They're not going to walk by Lisa or McLean's table or any of these other people's tables, friends of ours, whoever, and buy anything, because their money was all spent at the front door. Any extra income they had that they budgeted, they had to use to get in the door that goes in that promoter's pocket. So, man, we don't believe in that. Our tickets have always been, they're always discounted early at $10, $18 weekend passes. After a certain amount of time, they go up to $15. We gave the early bird special for about 5 months. Then they go up, and then they go up to $15 a day, $25 weekend pass. Man, anybody can afford $15 to get in the con. So, and you have still plenty of money to go spend at vendors' tables, which is what we want. And we didn't have anybody, we've never had anybody complain about our admission fees. We've had people come up to us and say, you're not charging enough for people to
Yeah.
And we hear it, and we're like, yeah, we are. We're fine because we're okay. Because at the end of the day, people like to make money, but we sat around and talked about it. It's not always about money in the promoter's pocket. It is, were the vendors happy? Were the people attending the show happy? Did they have a good time? Do the vendors come back? And we have a list of people that are already messaging, which is great, and we love to see it. Hey, when's your next dates? Because we want to go ahead and sign up. You know, that's what we like to see. We already got them. Our email's full. When's your next dates? We want to sign up. We want to sign up. We want to sign up. When you have all your repeat vendors keep wanting to sign up, you know you're doing something right. So as long as that keeps going on, Dickies is 100,000 square feet. We're not using it all. It's too big. But there's nothing we can do. They're going to rope off areas, you know, with pipe and drape and all that.
Right.
I think you'll like this arena. The load in will be the easiest you've ever had. They got like 7 big dock doors that people just pull up, you know, that they pull the tour buses in and all that. And you just pull right up, unload, and pull out. Parking is right there. You don't have to walk. It's right there. You walk right in. I mean, it is probably the easiest arena we've seen. There is no driving through a college campus to find the building. It is right there. And you see Dickies Arena from the freeway, and it is huge. We're excited. They're excited because they want us to say, meeting with them. They're like, this is where we want you guys to be. We'll be Fort Worth's biggest con. We're meeting with the city of Fort Worth. Finally, we get to meet with the city of Fort Worth because Dickies is attached to them. Fort Worth kind of owns part of that. So the people yesterday were like, we're going to meet with their entertainment district. So Fort Worth is going to start promoting it as, hey, this is our one big Comic Con. This is our show in Fort Worth. This is how we, you know, you guys need to come out. So the bigger we can make it and the more people learn about it, it's fun. It's a smaller show. We love where we're at with the amount of vendors. We're not going to be a fan expo. We're not going to have like 400 vendors in that thing. I think for us, that would be too big of a show.
I mean, if you guys, to be fair though, I know you're being real humble about it and everything, but for the people, like for you guys listening, you guys have to understand how different Cowtown is to other Comic Cons. Cowtown promotes every single person, whether they're a guest or a vendor or an artist or creator, whomever is going to be at that show, they promote every single person many times on their social media, not even just once, which I promise you, if they only made one post and never said shit else, that would be more than 90% of the other Comic Cons floating around. So they do that. Then the fact that they give a shit about every single person that's there. I have personally sat at that show. I've done that show since day one. This was the 3rd year. I've watched McLean, I've watched Chris, I've watched Kim walk around and say hello to every single vendor and artist at that show. That does not happen at other cons. The fact that they go out of their way to make sure people are coming through the door with an affordable cost to have more money on the spending of the tables, that's a huge deal. Again, another thing most cons don't do. And I'm not bashing cons. I'm just saying that you guys have to realize the amount of above and beyond these guys go because they come from the industry and they understand the things of how they were treated. So if you haven't done Cowtown, you damn sure need to make sure you go, especially if you live local to Texas.
I agree. We'll have more. We're going to have guest announcements and all that coming. Right now, our focus is on. We'll have all the Cowtown stuff coming up pretty soon. Like I said, I know McLean's. There it is. He's right. We promote vendors too. All the vendors, because when they go out, they get asked, "Hey, send us a picture of your booth." They get a flyer made too. Vendors, Kim, Caitlin, Marty, and all them. They promote vendors too. They're like, "Hey, come out and see, vendor ABC." They're in there. So vendors get their own as well. So we're trying. What I think is great is once we started promoting and McLean will say it. We started promoting vendors. We started promoting attendees and guests, and I think it's great. And it's no lie. Well, other cons around the area now, when they do theirs, boop, there's this person's coming now. Boop, there's this person, and they never did it before. We're like, oh, there you go, jump on the bandwagon. You should promote these guys. You know, we don't care. Promote them. We do, Julie. We have Dickey's Arena, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's our new home. We'll be locked in. It is done. Dates are set. McLean is going to be, he's working on all that stuff, so it'll be a few days. Like I said, Texoma is a big one now. We're excited for that one. I think you guys are going to, love Texoma. It's going to be so much fun.
Yep.
That venue is gorgeous. There are food trucks we get to have at Texoma. I mean, McLean built this flyer for food trucks. Marty and Kim put it out, man. And then the food truck people, here they came. Oh, yeah, there it is. Cowtown Comic Con is now updated on the website. Hey, I got a bell. I got 2 minutes. I got to get on my work call. But
hey, I do want to say this while I got you and McLean here. One night soon, this week, if you're able to, but if not, we can do it another time. But that's something I would like to do a show about on Creators Corner, where I have you and McLean on here talking about Texoma, talking about Cowtown, talking about your views on Comic-Cons and how y'all approach it to be different and things like that. I think that would be really cool for people to hear.
Let's do it this week. I can't do it Friday, but get with McLean because I got to run. I got to dial in. Get with McLean, figure out when he's free. I just can't do it Friday because I'm calling high school football. So
yeah, I don't know. I'll talk to McLean. All right, later, bud. So yeah. So we'll do that. I'll get with McLean. Well, he can't do it Friday night. McLean, do you guys want to try to talk about it on Saturday night? We might have more viewers that way if we do a Saturday night show this coming Saturday. I think everybody's home this weekend. Let me know if that works for you. We might could do a 6 o'clock on a Saturday evening. But yeah, you guys definitely need to make sure you check out Cowtown Comic Con and Texoma, because these guys are running both those shows. And yeah, like, I know you guys don't really think about this aspect of it, or you never really considered. Chat with Chris and let me know if 6 p.m. Saturday works. But yeah, as someone who does, I do anywhere between 2 to 4 Comic-Cons a month. Usually two at least, but some months I do 3 and 4. From the months of, like pretty much like, January, February through November. So that's a lot of damn shows. I mean, I can count on, less than one hand the amount of Comic-Cons that promote everyone that's there. All right, brother, have a good day. But the fact that, like, they go above and beyond, and it's not some fanboy shit. I mean, I'll give anybody props that take those steps to make sure everybody is successful. And I don't know why a lot of Comic-Cons can't grasp that. The more you, and again, we're not saying you got to promote everybody every 10 minutes. You can just make one post on your page saying, hey, this person's going to be at our show, because they have fans, whether they're indie creators or vendors or flippers. Everybody's got a fan base. I don't know why a lot of Comic-Cons can't comprehend that. Their excuse is, oh, we don't have time to make a flyer for everybody. And that's a straight up lie. That's straight up bullshit. It's a straight up lie. If Cowtown can do it for every single vendor they have, so can everyone else. If the other Comic-Cons that do it, if they can do it, so can everyone else. It's a bullshit ass lazy excuse. Because the more promoting that you do, or open your page up to where we can post to your page, and then you don't have to post shit. We'll do it. But they don't even do that. We can't post to their page. So, but that's such a dumb way to look at it, because every single person that's promoting that show, and or sees the people that you're having at your event, there might be something they might see on your post that they may not have had no plans coming to your show. And then they saw you post so-and-so artist, and they go, oh shit, so-and-so is going to be there. I'm going to go. I mean, there's been cons I've been to that somebody told me that if it hadn't been for me being there, they wouldn't even have came. And I'm nobody. you know. and I've had fans tell me that. I've had fans tell me that about a lot of shows. That, oh shit, dude, I saw you were going to be there. I didn't know you were until I saw you post about it on your page. I wasn't even planning to go, but if you're going to be there, I'm gonna make a trip out that Saturday or that Sunday. Like, I've had that happen. So if it would be in your benefit to promote every single person at least once on your Comic-Con page, so everyone knows who's going to be there. Not to mention, it helps expose those new people that, you know, up and comers, etc., to the people that follow your page that may like the work they see and want to go by and see their table too. So, and the more successful the people are at your con that paid to be there, you know, that bought booths, that bought tables, the more successful are, the more likely they are to do your show the next year. But if you're being a selfish cunt and you ain't got time, or you won't at least let us post our little promo thing to your page, I mean, if we come to your show and it's just so-so, we're probably not going to be back. Now, I get that don't mean too much to a lot of the promoters because, like Chris mentioned earlier, they're corporate. They don't give a shit in a lot of cases. They're going to get the numbers no matter what in most cases. So I get that, you know, they don't really care. But it's kind of shitty, you know. Yeah, it's ran extremely well. And don't get it twisted for anybody who might be listening. It's not an itty bitty show. I mean, it was 50,000 square feet or 55,000 square feet last year, and they had to grow it to 70,000 or 75,000 this year, and it was full. Now, given everybody had 10-foot spaces, you know, 10 by 10s, like legit 10 by 10s, because they use 8-foot tables, which is pretty damn cool. But make sure you check it out. Make sure you give Chris and McLean and them a follow, and Charter Comics. Make sure you guys follow Cowtown Comic-Con. And if you're in the Texas area or near it, the Fort Worth, Dallas area, make the trip. Don't let that, you know, $15 or $20 entry fee fool you. That is not a show that is reflective by that entry fee. Trust me, I understand it. I've been to a lot of shows where it was, you know, $15, $20 getting the door and it was hot trash. That is not the case for this one. They could definitely be charging, in my opinion, $50, $60 a head and get it with no problem. But they're doing it affordable for you guys. So make sure you go check it out. Make sure you show some love. It's worth going to, I promise you. And if you go to it and you don't think it's worth going to, let me know. You know, I'll square it with you. You know, because I know damn well it's worth it. You know, I know damn well if you came to me and said this was a shit show, you lying out your teeth. I'm sorry. You know, now it's not a MegaCon Orlando. It's not a C2E2, obviously, or any of that. But it's a great mid-sized con. I truly believe that. But anyway, you guys have a great day. I will talk to you later. Be good. Take care.